Konnichiwa and welcome everybody back to Chrono Reviews. It's time for this year's last Roarivore from Mattel's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toy line. And as you already can see, it's the Ankylosaurus. It's one of those I've been looking forward to, but just not have gotten around to getting since, well, as usual, it's not in our stores around here, so I had to turn to the online stores. And they finally had it in, so of course I clicked that order button and it have arrived. This is a dinosaur that have gotten a lot of attention recently since its inclusion in Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. It did not get that much attention back in JP3, which was when the dinosaur had its debut in the franchise. But it's a dinosaur that I do like a lot. It's a childhood favorite among others like the Triceratops and Stegosaurus, and it's a very interesting and different dinosaur. So getting right into it, we're going to check the package. It's the usual Roarivore package. It shows that you can press for sound and try me, but it's not on the side, it's actually on the back, but well, they cannot put the arrow out here, so it's understandable. And there it shows what it can do, and of course it's the iconic tail swing. The package in general have the lava backdrop, oven and blue, and the cage design. It's a little bit damaged, but I don't care since I'm going to open it anyway. And there's a logo on the side and on the other side, and on the back you can see that you press on the back for swinging tail and it will make sounds. It can be scanned for the Jurassic Facts app, so I will show you that once I open it up. And there's also assortment of other Roarivores, so the Ceratosaurus and Pteranodon from Wave 2 that was together with this one, and also the Triceratops. Not the Pachyrhinosaurus or Sinoceratops, but I think that one is sort of Wave 3, but still it was alone, so I'm not sure if it actually meant to be together with Wave 2. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's not that important. The important thing is that the stuff are released. Alright, here it is, the Ankylosaurus out of the package, and I must say it have exceeded my expectations because it was one of those unsure ones, but I ended up getting every freaking Roarivore anyway, so why not getting this one? And I must say, everything about this one looks fairly good actually. So let's just start off and go right into the Jurassic Facts app underneath the foot. There you go. Whoops. I always do that. I always click the button. Well, and there's the Jurassic logo under the other feet. And the color of this dinosaur is actually, it's natural yet quite interesting because it's some sort of bluish gray color on the top of the armor and on the top of the head. I'm not sure if it was colored like that in the movie. I just know that in JP3 they were colored more dark with some red on the head and stuff. Very cool color scheme. I really want them to do a repaint in that color scheme, maybe for a Legacy collection. But this one, it's not impossible that this actually are pretty accurate. It's hard to tell from the lighting in the movie if it was blue on the top or not, but the underside being brown, it's pretty spot on. So the armor is one color and the underside are one color, and that's actually pretty neat. It gives a good natural effect. And the tail is in the same brighter blue like this. And it's a more greenish color on the club itself. Maybe I would have preferred it being brown, but it still marks it as some dangerous part of the dinosaur, which is quite good. And there is greenish color on the head, the eyes are yellow, and the sculpture on the head, that's the nicest part. I can really see the scene from Fallen Kingdom when it was in the cage at the auction. I can see it in front of me, the scene when it roared close to the camera. You saw this head up close, and this head is really accurate. The detail in general on this one is really accurate, and this is probably the most accurate Ankylosaurus we have ever got in a JP toy line. Well, to be fair, we have not got that many Ankylosaurus. There was one die-cast Ankylosaurus in the Kenner original line, but that's it. And then the Ankylosaurus did not appear until Jurassic World, when Hasbro did, well, their little attempt at Ankylosauruses. And you will get to see more of that very soon, sooner than you think. And well, there was one Chaos Effect Pterodactyl Ankyloranodon or something hybrid. I was actually close to getting that one recently, but I got the Velociraptorix instead. So those, the spikes, are actually soft. They are very good at making pointy stuff pointy, but make them soft so that kids can play with it without getting injured. And that's a good thing, because you can literally hold it like this and they bend instead of penetrating your fingers. And that's good. As far as articulation goes on this figure, the tail can be of course swung, and it's actually like spring loaded so that it will go back. It's a very nice dingly effect. So it's not like the Stegosaurus, it turns back to the center. And that's good. I will get more into that when showing the action feature in just a moment. The head are ball jointed. It's very nicely jointed actually. And the legs, you can do the usual, bend them outwards and they go back and forth. Same with the front legs. They're a little bit more loose, but not too loose. I'm not sure if they're meant to go outwards or not. You can do it very minimally, like this. So, the action feature on the Ankylosaurus is of course its tail swing. And you press the button. So if you press it a lot of times and it will gain momentum. Just like with Stegosaurus, it will get more momentum the more you press it. And instead of staying in the action position when you press it, the tail lets loose and gets back in position, like this. So it's not like this. It goes back. You can get a lot of play value out of doing this manually or with the button. At first I was afraid it was broken when it did like that, because sometimes the buttons is stuck. Oh, to note, those knobs here are also soft. They are the same plastic as this, but it's probably because it's press and it releases and you can gain a lot of momentum. So it's not... I actually prefer the action feature on Stegosaurus more, but this one works perfectly fine. So to listen more carefully to the sounds now, because I talked and played around with it when showing you the tail action, let's just listen to the sounds more carefully. And now there's one more. that sound. If you heard the last little growl-ish sound, that's definitely an Ankylosaurus sound. It clicks as an Ankylosaurus immediately, and it have a little bit more growly stuff. It's not like, it seems like this one have more unique sounds too. Just like the Pteranodon, this one have less carnivore-like growls and definitely no T-Rex remixed sounds. So just like the Pteranodon, this one have more like its own thing, and that's a really, really good thing. That's a plus. A very high plus on the sound on Ankylosaurus as a difference from the others. Let's try to hear it again. This one. There it was. I love that sound. It's so Ankylosaur it could be. And I think it's about 3 or 4 different sounds. I think it's 4 different ones. But at least minimum it's 3. 3 different sounds. But I'd say 4. And now let's go into the size of this thing. So first off, we have human, of course. So here's Owen. And I could say quite definitely that the Ankylosaurus are a bit too small. Sure, Ankylosauruses are quite flat from the side and they are pretty low, but they have a lot of mass and are really heavy. So they are staying close to the ground in order to stay defended. And while they do that, this one is still a little bit too small, I'd say. You will see that more clearly when I show it compared to the T-Rex. So I'd say definitely a bit too small. Just like the trike, it's not catastrophically small, but it is a little bit too small. This one suffers less from it than the trike though, but a small bit too small, and definitely it would be too small to a Kenner figure. So I'm not picking up Dr. Grant this time because I forget to bring him. He's in the box on the other side of the room. But since you can see with Owen, he's already a bit too small. And here we have its smaller cousin, which is fine because this one is still smaller, the Minmi. But the Minmi are a bit too large, so well, they still look good together. So you have Ankylosaurid dinosaurs or Nodosaurid dinosaur together. And that's good. So now let's show the Ankylosaurus together with the T-Rex. So you can see what I mean here. The Ankylosaurus should be quite a bit larger, because if you consider that the Indominus Rex was fighting Ankylosaurus, you can clearly see that Ankylosaurus was a little bit bigger compared to the Indominus Rex. I think at least this high. And a little bit more bulky perhaps. But it's still not catastrophically small, so just like the Triceratops, it does work. But you can see clearly that this is smaller than the size we are used to seeing together with T-Rexes when they fight in different videos and movies and dinosaur programs on the TV. So a little bit bigger. So just like with the Triceratops, if they went and did a action attack trike and Ankylosaurus, it would be more than welcome, but it's definitely not a super need in doing that. If I had to pick one that needs a bigger figure for the sake of it, it's the Triceratops because of its iconic value in the franchise. The Ankylosaurus would just be a nice bonus, but the trike is who needs it most. And now let's line up some dinosaurs. So here we have the Ankylosaurus. So let's bring it together with some other. I'm still not sure if this one is wave 2 or 3, but it's there. And then we have some carnivores. The carnivores are, of course, let's do this. Here we have every Roarivore released to this date, except for one. I will put it in just in a little moment. There we go. And then we have the whoopsie. I'm not going to let that happen. Right. And now it can't stand because for random reasons. Damn you, Ceratosaurus. You're supposed to be the one that could stand. Alright, here we have every Roarivore of 2018. And as far as I know, there will not be any new Roarivores until next year. And I'm still not sure what Roarivores we have to expect unless they change the lineup, names and action features totally for the new year. I'm not sure. I just know that there will be a Styracosaurus, which from the look of it could be smaller than a Roarivore. I don't hope that's the case, but I would be happy if it is a Roarivore because the size would be perfect for a Styracosaurus. Other than that, I'm not sure of anything what to expect for the future of the Roarivore line. Other than this is all of them. So Ankylosaurus concludes the Roarivores for me. And if I have to pick favorites now, when it comes to movie accurate sculpture, the herbivore side of things, it's a very close tie between Ankylosaurus and Triceratops when it comes to movie accurate sculptures. But when it comes to personal favorites, I love the Pachyrhinosaurus, but for movie accuracy it cannot win because it's not a Sinoceratops and all that blah blah blah. But it's my personal favorite is probably the Pachyrhinosaurus. When it comes to the selection of sound, the Pteranodon is probably the favorite, but the second favorite is the Ankylosaurus. And when it comes to favorite carnivores, I really love this because it's colorful and looks totally awesome. And when it comes to movie accurate sculpture, when it comes to carnivores, the Baryonyx probably wins it, but this one is really close too. The Metriacanthosaurus can't even compete because it have not appeared in the movies, only by name. So let's just bring that Ankylosaurus back in focus here. I don't bother moving the other ones around. So there we have it. So all in all, I do really love this Ankylosaurus. It's a great figure. And I hope you enjoyed the review. So until next time, take care and sayonara.